Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. So, Kripp here. My specialty in Battlegrounds is losing coin flips. It is getting unlucky. Getting salty as a result of getting unlucky. That's what you guys seem to love. Today we're going to go out on a limb and actually put a video where luck was pretty kind to me. Enjoy. Yeah, I saw the Obi-Wan trailer. I thought it was pretty good. I like some of the most boring heroes to play ever. Whatever, this might be okay. I'm like the kind of guy who wears a small medium shirt. What?
Time to bring your A game.
Why would you make this assumption? What expansion patch did I quit WoW?
I am sending you back in 3, 2,
The first time or the second time? I weigh like 220, something like that. Yeah, I quit World of Warcraft near the end of Cataclysm just because the game was not good. Yeah, it was a bad game. They removed a lot of the things that I thought were really like difficult and skillful to do. And instead just made them like RNG. Like, I don't know. So the top DPS hunters, yeah, you had to play well, but you just had to get more explosive shot procs. And if you did, you almost always won. If you were just pretty good. There were very few internal cooldown items that had any meaning. Things like doing DPS while moving was an aspect that cost you like 1% damage. It was like, oh, I'll just move effortlessly and lose 1% of my damage instead of like the most skillful thing to do in raids. Yeah, I just lose 1% damage. And then I also hated the focus thing. So hunters went from mana to focus. The focus was all just rotation anyway. It didn't make any difference. I think I have to buy that last for it to actually apply to both. And yeah, the change with mana might seem like a decent one, but it was also a bad change because you really had to pace yourself. You couldn't just like button mash your rotation every single time because you'd usually have mana problems. And with mana, you had to find the parts in the fight where you couldn't do that much damage, and then you would go an aspect of the Viper to slowly regenerate your mana a little bit. Basically, the like peak skill hunter versus an average hunter in Wrath of Lich King was like 5 times damage, and in Cataclysm, it's like 20%. It's just like so much easier to play. This is kind of boring. And yeah, I just wasn't interested. Cataclysm was overall a horrendous expansion. I would have been more interested in a World of Warcraft if they just left us with the same Wrath of Lich King raids and forgot to update the game completely.
Have you forgotten?
heroes must make sacrifices.
I played again when Mr. Pandaria came out, and I thought the game was pretty good, but at that point in the game, raiding, which is my favorite part of World of Warcraft, had evolved into which guild has the most geared alts, and this is just a miserable experience. It's like Every single week, you play as many alts as possible. It's like, oh my god. So I just, no. Like, I was falling asleep playing raids. Cata was far more hardcore expansion. Wrath Lich King was casual in comparison. Firelands Rag was actually difficult and took hundreds of attempts to even down. Let me guess. You played Cataclysm and did not play Wrath of Lich King? Even though Firelands Rag was hard, the guild that killed it, which was Paragon, because I know them, they still did it in like a quarter of the attempts that they took to kill Yogg Zero Light. Same guild. Okay, so it's not even like an apples to oranges here. Like, you just don't know what you're talking about. So Rag and Firelands was pretty hard. Easily Yogg Zero was harder. I think it was on a similar level of Lich King, especially because of limited attempts early on. Yeah, especially, yeah. Limited attempt Lich King was way harder. In Rag, people just smash their faces, 500 attempts, bam, done. But there's also an argument to be made about, like, some of the mid dungeon bosses. So there's something in World of Warcraft that a lot of people don't give much credit for. Sometimes you have a boss that's not the last boss, but it's actually harder than the last boss when you encounter it to do it on, like, heroic mode. And Mimiron hard mode was that. The difference is that you could just not do Mimiron hard mode. You could do the easier bosses that occurred later, and you could acquire more loot. But when the guilds got to do hard mode Mimiron, that shit was really fucking hard. I think the boss was killed in like a week or something, but the boss was killed with like unbelievable exploits. So like actually killing the boss without exploits, that I don't think that happened for at least a couple of weeks. They were using like a macro for all the paladins to stack Judgment of Light. Judgment of Light doesn't stack, but it stacks if you cast it in the same frame. Sounds like cheating. It's only cheating if you get caught in World of Warcraft. What else? Wrath of the Lich King, people think it's easy because the first content was easy. Most of it anyway. Like the Obsidian Dragon crap was actually pretty hard. But the Knack stuff was really easy. Obsidian Sanctum, yeah, that one. That one was pretty hard if you do the hard mode version of it. And the Trial of the Grand Crusader, it wasn't like easy, but it wasn't that hard. It wasn't that hard. Like Anubarak on Heroic 25, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't like end boss difficulty. But Ulduar was ridiculous, and Ice Crown was pretty fucking crazy, especially with limited attempts. Ice Hell Charge Death. My least favorite raid in Wrath? No, they were all pretty good. Yeah, some were hard, some were easy, but in terms of what I liked about them, I think they're all pretty good. I think had I played in Classic WoW, I would have found Naxxramas to be shitty as hell. But I didn't, so I thought it was pretty cool. But probably Nax is shitty as hell, because they just copy-pasted it.
You have unlocked your true...
What do you mean by limited attempts on Lich King? You could only try the boss 15 times per week. So it's really hard to get people to learn the fight, because the fight was also really complicated. And the hardest boss in Cataclysm was Firelands Ragnaros. but Paragon still killed it in like a week. They just did it in 500 attempts. Yeah, on 1 week for us, we kicked the guy out of the guild, and he snuck in the instance and burned all the attempts when we were in contention for World First. By the way, how's that for difficulty? No tries this week.
You have initiated a power play.
Yeah.
Another ambitious recruit.
That's pretty fucking good.
No rest for the weary, hero.
The second time I quit was Mr. Pandaria. I couldn't do the whole alt thing. And you really had to stay relevant as a guild. This is too boring. I couldn't do it. It's just too boring. Damn.
To be reckoned with.
So I need to activate this and get like a demon that doesn't blow. That's the plan. Yeah, at this point I might want to just buy any 2 cards. You can't imagine being one of the first guilds to coordinate 4 horsemen or Lothab when Nax came out. Yep, people were pretty bad at video games. They had shitty computers back then. The funniest shit that I've seen with this in mind was not even in World of Warcraft. It was in Dark Age of Camelot. Dark Age of Camelot is like as many people as you want versus as many people as you want in PvP. Call it Realm versus Realm PvP, RVR. And there's not a lot of like high damage area of effect skills, but there are a few. So give me a sec. Shit, can I even do this? Yeah, I can do it.
Violence is usually the answer.
Let the corruption spread!
I just don't know if I want to go with the demon. Their armor locks, the poisonous is cheap. I actually quite like some of those. I can do a partial freeze, yeah. Okay, yeah, so in Realm versus Realm, there was like unlimited people versus unlimited people, and the objectives were to like crash down the gate of like a city that belonged to one group, and they were trying to defend it from like the top of the castle walls and stuff. And then if you get through that, then you go inside the central keep, and you try to keep like you try to kill the castle like leader, basically like the king, kind of. It wasn't a king, but kind of like the king. It was a PvE mob, and it had like a shitload of health. Okay. Anyway. So sometimes, like, literally the whole fucking server would take some of these because of how reward structures worked. So you'd have, like, 200-300 people in this fairly small room trying to kill this king guy as soon as possible. And, I shit you not, I've seen cases of, like, 4 fucking characters walking in there and just spamming their air of effect while standing on the same spot. And like, obviously that would never fly by today's standards, but back then it did. It's hilarious to watch. It was like watching insects go into the fly zapper. So yeah, that was probably the most extreme example of that I've seen. Don't miss. Nice. Sounds like Alterac Valley.
Another ambitious recruit. Pick a new member for your team.
I don't think this can go too far. What were the other top Horde US guilds during Ulduar? Horde? Blood Legion and Cuties only. Alliance had Vodka and Premonition. There really weren't any other good guilds. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure no guild ever US first did anything else in Ulduar. Actually, I think there was an Australian guild that did get a couple. Which is unbelievable, because I would never want to play World of Warcraft at 700 ping. I don't remember what they were called though. Guy has like crazy stats.
It may be small, but it can fight. You did what had to be done. Pick a new member for your team.
Australia got servers in 2014, for those wondering. Oh, they actually got their own servers. That's good. It took a while.
No rest for the weary, hero.
This is not the easiest thing here. Could easily die. Never mind.
That'll make things more interesting.
I don't think they keep the buff though. Oh, they do? Oh, sure. Okay, yeah. Oh, I think that might actually give me a chance. Actually, blown away that it works that way. Yeah, okay.
potential.
Kripp. Oh, that's good. Oh, we win! 6 win streak. Look at that. Remove Amalgadon? Nah. I think the Reborn card is bullshit, but no, Amalgadon's fine. And he's gonna drop the cleave. I mean, I might have to win 2 more times. Battlegrounds card that lets you change minion type. I think that might not be very good for the game. I think that would be a bit too much clown fiesta, a bit too hard to understand what's going on. One thing that Battlegrounds does do pretty well is just kind of figure out what's happening at any given time pretty quickly.
No rest for the weary, hero.
Wait, he just got a new Amalgadon and it has Divine Shield taunt with no brand? Really? No, I don't think I'm out of it yet, but this is not looking good. Oh yeah, I'm out of it now. Oh, never mind. Hey, just one more 10%er. We got it.
Good fight.
Both his taunts have poisonous. If I put that there, it'll actually kill one of the others, so that's probably worth it. It does lower the power level of this, though.
Nothing can slow you down.
That's pretty bad. I'm surprised the tokens didn't hit. Still looking pretty good. Pure skill. What a bullshit win. Alright, then it doesn't happen to me very many times, okay? From this side of the board, anyway. Let me have it, man. Let me have it. Let me have it. You hope I'm happy that man had a family? Right.